Bush House is a beautiful historic hotel, the last one left in what was a major industrial area in the late 19th century and the early 20th century, right next to where the Great Northern Railroad comes through the Cascades and provided the final transcontinental link that linked Seattle directly to the Midwest and the Eastern markets. The Bush House has been home to recreationalists, loggers, miners, and fishermen for over 120 years. The Bush House was first constructed sometime in the 1890s, has been serving a town that had a great deal of industry. In the past, it was one of 5 hotels. It's the last surviving one. It's one of the older hotels in operation in the state. But before World War I, my grandfather was a Great Northern Railroad employee, a fireman, and would come by this spot every day on his runs. So the town of Index and this general area, including his involvement in the Wellington slide of 1910, have always been part of our family's legacy. We would come up here on Sunday afternoon drives and so forth. He later in his life owned a lot down in Gold Bar, nearby Gold Bar. I also played in the Wenatchee Valley Symphony for many years and would drive through on my way to Wenatchee, stop in, take it in, and on occasion Carol and I would have dinner here and even stay overnight at the Bush House when we would go hiking. So it's been a part of our lives one way or another for a long time.
The Bush House is just in a gorgeous natural setting, mountains all around, climbing wall that's been written up in national magazines that people come from all over to climb. Index and Persis looking one way, Merchant and Gun looking another way, a beautiful river going through where there's river rafting and there's lots of hiking just from the town. And it's not far from Seasons Pass for skiing, so lots of good things. People would want to stay at the Bush House if they wanted to be away from the city and yet not have to travel too far. People might stay at the Bush House for a small family gathering or for a wedding or an event. Or if they don't want to go all the way back to Seattle and they're skiing, there are just many reasons that you could stay here and enjoy it. It's just a great place to sit on the porch and read.
It's kind of an extension of my long-standing interest in local history and my involvement in public history and supporting public historical organizations and projects. We were sad when the Bush House was not available to use and kind of kept a distant eye on it and eventually stepped in to try to give something back to our state and our history community in a meaningful way. I can't think of anyone who's not likely to want to come and stay at the Bush House.